Well, hey, good morning. This message is for my gamer friends. This post is about the new game Path of Exile 2. If you do not play video games, specifically if you do not play ARPG video games like Diablo or Path of Exile, then dude, you can skip it. You don't have to listen to every fucking word out of my mouth. Anyway, so I want to post this and give a review of Path of Exile. I can give you an early review and like a mid and late game review, and then we could talk about like after the campaign and like whatever the maps has for us. There's only, first of all, there's only so long that a campaign could be. Okay, there's only so long, there's only so much post campaign content that you could have. If you're not into Path of Exile or Path of Exile 2 right now, my suggestion is get off of those games. Go play something else. I don't want to be part of a community where a game comes out, we're in early access, babies. We paid for that. The game's free. I paid to play it in a pre-ready state. I always pick, when I play ARPGs and RPGs, I always pick the squishiest character and play as it first. Sorcerer. It's also, funnily enough, it's so glass cannon in every game I've ever played. The Sorcerer is squishy early, glass cannon mid, and fucking dominant late. Like fucking insane, can't hit it, insane move. Here's what I'll tell you. In this game, you have unlimited roll. So and this is how I can tell you this game is incredible. Your roll is a spacebar to roll out of the way of incoming attacks, arrows. You can roll towards, meaning like somebody shoots a bow at you. In an ARPG, you can roll toward it, and it's not an ability. It's like every character has this ability. So I get it. You're nerding out. I am nerding the fuck out. This is called nerding the fuck out about stuff. If I wasn't gonna do it, I was gonna do video game development, but the industry is so sad. And so it would be like you'd have to make it on your own. And like once you have I've only taken this much programming, and I can already tell you, babies, that's too much thinking for me. Too much weight on my shoulders. Can't do it. But I can talk to the people that do and nerd out about the same things that they nerd out about. Okay. And so there's going to be time where I'm on here talking about NFL, football, NCAA football, the video games for both of those. So Madden and NCAA football. I play both. I talk about both. I haven't been as into Madden in years past because I don't want it to kill my love of the game. So do you see how that works? I got into coaching football and I was like, I'm going to coach football instead of like, I'm just going to play Madden, because Madden was making me like not enjoy it. So there. NCAA football is awesome. The new NCAA football 25, awesome. I'll get back around to that. But this is the part of the year when games come out. Okay? So in the fall, in Q4, in Q3 and Q4 is when video games come out. I would lie. I lie. It's actually it's like Q4 and Q1, but whatever. So in Path of Exile 2, I always play as the weakest character first, or the one that will die the fastest, has the least shield or armor, and for good reason. It's a great tell if a game is good or not. Okay? Here's what I've noticed about this game that I like. You can get yourself cornered. You can back yourself into a corner. You can get hung on a corner. Okay? In most games, they kind of scoop out the corners so that they're round. And so your dumb mind wants to go all the way around the left edge. Like my brain, beep, beep, beep. When we go into maps, that was funny because my nose is a little red. When I go in maps, I go like left wall, hug the left wall, go all the way around. Sometimes I go in a map and I'm like, ah, fuck it, hug the right wall, go all the way around. Sometimes I get randy as fuck and I just go dead down the middle. And what I want everyone to know is that's how you die. You have to figure out, do you want to go left? Do you want to go right? Understand that if you leave the map, let's say you need to get gear, okay? In every RPG ever, if you wanted to improve your gear, you gotta grind. There's some grind aspect. Well, here's a grind aspect for you. If you're in an area and your backpack fills up, you can portal and come back and it resets the monsters. So and for the record, lots of video games don't do that. If you kill all the animals in an area or all the bad guys in an area and unalive them, and we're talking about a video game, and this is for entertainment purposes only, they don't come back. Their corpse will lay there for a while and then eventually it'll vanish. Okay? It's like somebody's eating roadkill. But what I wanted to point out about Path of Exile is that it is quick to remind you this game is hard. And so when I die, understand your gear doesn't deteriorate. You lose a little EXP, but it's like, baby, we're gaining experience with every sod. And so I'll go to fight a boss, and that boss will truck me. And I'm like, oh, some bitch, I'm going to have to go level up a little bit. And I will do that. I'll go get a little better gear and get a level, and I'll come back and I'll roadmap that fucking boss. And I'm like, huh, sweet. Understand, for me, because I'm pretty good at video games, most RPGs I can go front to back from A to Z and never have a problem. Never even unalive. And most of the time I do unalive in video games, it's like because I step off a ledge, like not on purpose, or I was like trying to clear a jump, right? This is why I stay inside, for the record. You don't know what you don't know, right? Like in real life, I know. Take way less risks, Jared, especially as you get older. Use your brain, right? But in Path of Exile, so not only can my sorcerer roll, but you can get yourself hung. You can get yourself surrounded. In the early game, you don't have very good AoE. So when you get yourself surrounded, not fucking great, Jack. You might be able to push some of the mobs back. So then you're like, well, I have to have either main or offhand cast a spell that hits multiple targets. And the first one you get is Spark. For the record, you also very early in the game get Flame Wall. And so I just want to throw this out there, and then I'm going to stop recording this video. Okay? This is the same early SORC as PoE 1. And it's actually fucking great. You get to play as, like, you're casting fire and ice spells. Okay? But early game, you get Spark, which Spark, think Palpatine. Bzzzt, can hit multiple targets, spreads to targets. Very early in the game, you can make it deal less damage and make it 100% to Splinter. And so early game, you are fucking Raiden, except Raiden has Liu Kang's Fireball. Raiden has Liu Kang's Firewall. So, and when you go Firewall and shoot, sorry, I'm nerding. This is nerding. And you shoot Spark through the Firewall, the Spark carries your flame. Fucking, and it's red and blue. And so like it's off. That's awesome. You like cast Flame Wall to, if they walk through the wall, they'll walk around it. It's awesome. You could Flame Wall yourself into a circle and just cast Spark. Right? And it'll go. And I haven't quite figured out how far your Spark goes, because I know it goes off screen. That's just early game SORC. So you don't have great defense at all. Because you can shockwave, like frost shockwave. Sometimes it only slows. It doesn't always knock back, and it doesn't always freeze. So, in my opinion, fucking great game, son. It's difficult. I open chests and giggle where I'm like, this is real life, yo. In real life, you will really climb the highest of fucking mountains for the smallest fucking reward. And I hate to be like that. I hate to be the one. I actually don't hate to be the one. I'll be the person to tell you. Like, Path of Exile was meant for people who have lost all hope. Like, you aren't going to no-hit that game. And if you do no-hit that game, you have to play it so passive. Right now, as a sorcerer, that it would be a slog. And nobody wants a slog. So, that's my review of Path of Exile. I'm playing as the most squishy character who I anticipate will be very powerful late game. Not worried about that, baby. I am a game developer in another universe, in another lifetime. Just so you know, I'm literally wearing like a Harry Potter hoodie with an Iron Man t-shirt, right? So just so you know, in another lifetime, and for the record, I hope Marvel Legends is great. Hope it's great. I'll probably play that too. But I'm playing Path of Exile 2. I am taking my sweet time. I'm not following a POV. I'm, for the first time, it's the steepest of challenges. Okay? I haven't even streamed myself playing it because it's hard. But when I die, I'm like, okay, it's not like there's a penalty. In other games, your gear degrades, and that costs money, and that can get expensive, especially fucking late game. That gets fucking old. Diablo. In this game, your game doesn't degrade. You might lose a little XP. But on the whole, like, you keep grinding. It's and I would say it's not a grind if you love it. Like, if you just... And I have Frostbolt now. So, like, now Frostbolt can just replace whatever. And I was using Chaos Bolt before that. So, like, Firewall plus Chaos, ice, electricity, like, you get that all early. And it's like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? And, like, I just think people don't play defensively enough. And every game I've ever played with other people, and like how well you get through that game is going to depend on other people, which I don't tend to enjoy. I'll play a fucking dude. Elden Ring, perfect. Breath of the Wild, perfect. So if you like those kinds of games, it's not hard to get on ARPGs at all because you can scroll all the way in, and then it's just third person. Instead of third-person omniscient, which is the perspective ARPGs shoot from, is third-person omniscient. That's what it's like, a overhead RPG. They tend to be very linear. And again, I mean, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd gamer. You know what I mean? And an athlete, right? So sports games. I'm gonna talk about that stuff when we're not talking about the fucking end of the world, right? But I just wanted to totally fucking nerd the fuck out hard on a video for you so that you understand, like, it's not all I'm waking up at 4 a.m. every day and I don't get a pick anymore. It's not all I'm just trying to give you a little bit of hope. Like, I still have to, like, do things I enjoy, and that's one thing that I've gotten away from. And that's why I started streaming, is because I can see what's in front of me, right? I literally made a post about starting a political party, ASP, the American Socialist Party, and just calling it socialism. People can handle it. Textbooks do not say people can't handle it when you call it socialism. They'll lose their minds. You need to clearly define it, and then you probably need to define it for stupid people too. Yeah. So that's like tool tips versus like the in-game hint. Anyway, have a great Have a great day.